Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Reese, the Psych PA, and this is my channel where I share medicine, travel, and lifestyle. And today I'm going to be sharing some travel stuff with you guys. So I know in previous videos I mentioned that I had a couple of travel dates coming up from Dallas to Atlanta with NCCPA. Just to clarify, NCCPA is in Atlanta and Dallas was personal. So unfortunately, when I was in Dallas, I really didn't do a whole lot of recording. So most of this video is going to be from Atlanta and my experience as an NCCPA ambassador and getting a chance to go to headquarters. I don't know really how much of it I'm actually able to post and or capture, but I will find out. So I'm sure by the time you watch this video, it's going to be way after the fact. But right now, it's currently almost the end of February, and I leave on Wednesday to go to Atlanta. So I don't know how much of what I'm going to be able to really share, but I'm going to share everything that I end up recording. So with that being said, I'm sure by the time you watch this again, I would have already made up my mind, captured whatever, edited whatever, and added to this segment. So without further ado, let's just jump into first Atlanta and then whatever I captured from Dallas at the end. I hope that you guys enjoy, and I will talk with you again next week. Peace. And then I am in Atlanta. My flight touched down around 7:30ish. It is now 11 o'clock. I am winding down so I can get ready to go to bed so I can get up in the morning. I am in Atlanta again with NCCPA to do some work for the profession and figure out what we can do to make everything better and create more awareness around who we are and what we do. But it's also a good time to network, meet other people, and just bond as PAs in different states and in different specialties. But anyway, so I'm already meeting some awesome PAs who do awesome work, mostly military PAs, which is still awesome. I appreciate their service and furthermore what they do and how they advocate for the profession in their world. But really, the highlight of my night was meeting one of the PAs from the airport. Me and her has been like this ever since we met each other, and I can definitely tell nothing but good things is going to come from this visit, especially after meeting and taking pictures with the dancing PA. Oh my gosh, I was like, let's run up on him and dance. But he is really down to earth, really sweet person, and his focus is definitely on living life, enjoying it to the fullest, and his passion for medicine and his patience. He is not up here, and he even said this, he's like, I'm just a regular degular smegular. And most people who are blessed to be able to do what they love, and people that are blessed to create change and leave impact like that, normally are the ones that do say, yeah, I'm just a regular person. I love that. I love the groundedness. It's not so much of being humble, toning down what he's sent to do and the message and the impact he's planning to leave or sent to leave, but it's more so being grounded, as in, I know that I'm meant to do this, and this, but I don't parade it around, I still have a sense of respect and love for my patients, myself, and my colleagues. I love that about him. Talking with him and hearing more about his story, how he grew up, the things in his journey to PA is so inspiring. And I'm going to keep vlogging now. Good morning, guys. It's going to be a beautiful day. Good morning, guys. So this is the first morning of the NCCPA day or conference or whatever you want to call it for the PA ambassadors. And as you can see, sis cleans up nice. Sis cleaned up real nice. Okay. Sis cleans up real nice. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be recording more, or as much as I can.
Years of practice. Some of them have been practicing less than a year. Some of them are practicing up to 25 years, and so it's a great span of folks that we've got here with us. The other thing that I wanted to mention to you is that the ambassador program has really grown. They've really informed a lot of my thinking and the things that we're able excited to have them here on site. The thing that I would share with you, ambassadors, you heard Dawn allude to it, you heard Jeff allude to it earlier. The folks you see behind you, folks have a perception of NCCPA, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. There are, notions about us and who we are. One thing I want you to know about the people that you meet here today, none of these folks gets up and comes to work every morning just to make your life miserable. In fact, they do just the opposite. They work hard and they do everything they can to promote this profession to make things easier for you. And so know, if you don't take anything else away from this visit, is that the people you see behind you are for you and they're advocating for you and they're working hard for you every single day. They love this profession just like you do and they're happy and honored to be working for you. So our staff, want to give them a hand, brought some awareness to the profession, and I wanted to take some time today to talk to him about how he's been able to do that and to get some ideas from him on how we can all use that to further increase awareness of PAs and the work that they do. So without any further ado, Jeff, my speaker's a little low, so I hope you're listening. So follow my cue, okay? Introduce Tony Atkins.
I'm going a little live for you guys and everybody on social media saying hey to you guys.
Hey!
How are you guys doing?
Good.
So Tony, you had an issue. It didn't play on the speaker, so I need you to go back out.
Do it again.
Sorry, we're not so good at production. We're trying, okay? This is new for us. All right. Ready? Mm-hmm. No, why are you still playing on this? All right. Ready?
8 times.
How you guys doing today?
Hey!
Amazing. Oh, there goes my music. All right. Well, everybody in social media loves you guys as well, because you guys are the reason why what I do. So I'll get off of this now. And looked at my mom, the strength that she did, because some days she was crying, and every time the phone rang late at night, she would start praying because she's thinking there's something wrong with my brothers. And I told myself I'm not gonna cry today, so bear with me. But anyway, I used music as a way to take me out of that environment. Because my brothers had, boom boxes, and VH1 was popular at the time, so I'm old. So I would look at VH1 and kind of emulate the songs and the dances, and then listen to the radio, and just take my mind off of everything. Like Kumo D, Run DMC. It's like all these, hip hop greats, and that's what I grew up on, and that's why I don't like TV right now, because that's all I do is listen to music, and it kind of took me away. Because I felt like I was going in a dark place, and I felt like I was going to go down that same path, but I just used music and dance as a way to kind of pull me out of that.
You're aging yourself a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Anyhow, so after high school, you spent 9 years in the Army,
Mm-hmm.
and after that you pursued your bachelor's in neuroscience, and then went on to get a master's in global health and epidemiology.
Right.
Did anything in the military cause you to want to go into healthcare? Like what spurred that?
It was, when I was in the military, I was a lightweight vehicle mechanic, so I was like way down the line. But so I was patching up cars, now I'm patching up humans. So, one day when I was at my friend's house, and I just came back from basic training, and I was like, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, what's gonna give me meaning. And I sat down on my friend's couch, and he was somewhere, I don't know where he was at. And I just asked myself, I was like, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? And at that moment, I said, I want to be a pediatrician. And then from then, I just ran with it. Because, before, the reason why I got into military was a different backstory, because I was the youngest, and because my mom was so focused on my brothers staying out of trouble, I was just, as long as I was at school, I was okay. But what I was doing in school was not okay because I was like the class clown. That's why I like to make people laugh because I have history. But I was in remedial classes in junior high, and I was part of the desegregation process where inner city kids in Los Angeles get bused to Malibu. So Malibu is where Kim K lives. So it's on the coast of California. So I got bused to school every day, and while I was in junior high and high school, getting bused to school, I was in remedial classes. So remedial classes, where they stand at is you have special ed, you have remedial, you have regular classes, you have honors, and you have some nerds way up top. Right? And I see a few of that back there. They call them the IT people. I'm just saying. But so once I graduated from high school, the Army recruiter was there. My mom was like, "Why don't you just go to the military?" And I was like, "All right." So I signed up and went to the military. And then when I came back, I had to start from the ground zero because I decided I wanted to become a pediatrician. So I went to community college for 6 years, and then I transferred and went to a four-year university. After you go to community college, you should go to your four-year university for 2 years. But I went to the four-year university for 4 years. So I did 6, 4, and then I did a Master in Public Health 2, and then I did a PA program, and I did it 3 because Charles Drew went under. So I was part of the people that was at Charles Drew. And then I got accepted into University of Washington, so I had to repeat my first year of PA school all over again, so I did 3. So I repeated basically going from first grade all the way to 12th grade all over again. And it's about perseverance. So every day, tears about to come. So every day that I'm in my hospital, and you see me all like happy and joyful on my posts, and that's the way I am all day long. It's not just because of I'm gonna put it on social media and get some likes. It's because that's me. And I'm always happy because I've been to the bottom, and I know where the bottom is, and I know what it smells like, and I know what it feels like. I've rolled around in it, and I appreciate everything that's given to me. And being here is just like, oh, so it's like amazing, And everything that's coming my way is, I count it and I love it.
Awesome. So one of the hallmarks of the PA's profession is being able to switch specialties, and you alluded that you wanted to be a pediatrician, but why did you go into pediatric neurosurgery? Like what made you choose that?
Yeah, so when I was in undergrad, it was like you wanted, usually, so the counselor was like, typically people that want to go to medical school, they do biology degree. And I was like, I do not like animals. I don't want to learn about an insect. I said, just give me neuroscience. So I did my neuroscience undergrad. So then I did everything. And then once I finished, I was like, I'm going to either be a neurologist or a neurosurgeon because that's all I love. I love the brain and I love the nervous system. It's still intriguing. So that's how I kind of went that way. And then once I became a PA, and I was out in Washington, and when you do your rotations out in a different state, and you're trying to come back to your home state, it's hard as hurt. So that came back, and I was in urgent care because one of my friends that actually finished Charles Drew, she was working at urgent care, so she gave me a job at urgent care in Hollywood. There's a lot of weird people in Hollywood. So I did that for about a month, part-time, and then I went into orthopedic spine. And the orthopedic spine was an adult hospital, and across the street was a children's hospital. So one of the PAs that was leaving from the practice of the neurosurgery was like, I'm about to leave. Do you want my job? And I said, yeah, I'll take your job. So then that's how it happened. It's like fell into my lap, and then I was blessed, and ever since it's like I'm not looking back.
So I know no 2 days are like, but give us just an overview of what your typical day might be like when it starts, when it ends, what happens in between, like what's your day like?
Yeah, so typically, I hit my snooze button twice before I get out. And then I get to the hospital after I stop at Starbucks around 6 o'clock, and then I start my rounds, or my computer rounds, where I'm just kind of going on the computer, just like looking up everybody what's going on throughout the night. And then that's when I start seeing patients. We call it gravity rounds. We start at the ICU first, and we kind of go all the way down. And then I rush into the OR around 7:30. and then I'm doing, assisting in surgery, and then once I finish that, then I answer my pager, because the pager's going on like all day, because we're a trauma center. And then I run over to the office, make sure everything is going okay there, seeing patients, and then I'm just tidying up everybody before I take off throughout the day. So it's a pretty busy practice. It's 3 surgeons. Now, at first it was 3 surgeons and 1 PA, which was me, and now we just hired 2 more PA. So it's a little bit lighter load, but at the end of the day, I was in the military. I studied my butt off because I started from the bottom, and so I love working, and I don't like sitting around not working.
So what would you say are the most challenging aspects, and then also what are the most rewarding aspects of what you do?
The most challenging aspects is it's seeing something that could be prevented in kids. It's the hardest thing. It's never easy. You see a kid that used to be a pro skater. Everybody wants to be a pro skater because they got a skateboard, and they wear helmets at their events. But then when they come home and riding around the neighborhood, they don't wear helmets. And we have a kid right now that's been in the hospital going on about a month now, and he didn't wear his helmet. He went riding a skateboard in the middle of the night, and in a car didn't see him as he's, a lot of our skaters wear a lot of dark colors. So I was like, come on now, don't wear dark colors on the skateboard. So he's going across the sidewalk, across the intersection, and the car just kind of took off and just took him out, and he fell backwards onto his occipital lobe. And when you have a hit in the back, it kind of the swelling goes this way and transected his midbrain. So he has no higher level of function up here now, and he has just his brainstem, so he can breathe and he can, contract and do all these things. But that's the hardest part. You see somebody that used to be normal, and now they're never going to be normal. They went to my daughter's school, and then you have to turn that off and go to the next patient that's doing great. So it's being in pediatric neurosurgery is one of the most challenging professions, because you deal with so much bad things in kids and that come in like right away. And I've seen my first case was this little guy was riding his skateboard across the street, and I guess he jumped off the curb, and the car just came and took him out. He came in the GCS of 3. He went to 4 when they put in an IV line in him. In the field, and then when he came in, I saw his CT scan, and CT scans are like fuzzy TVs, and his was like a not so great fuzzy TV. We knew he wasn't going to last, but the parents wanted to do everything, so we did everything that we needed to do in the surgery. And this was the Friday before Mother's Day on Sunday, and he didn't last. They decided to take him off life support on Monday after Mother's Day. And it happened down the street from my house, and I stay in a really nice neighborhood. And I drive by it all the time to see his memorial, and it's been there for like 3 years, and it's like that was the hardest one. The most rewarding portion of my job is being able to connect with my patients. I have a lot of kids that have brain tumors. So they're in the hospital all the time, and all day long they're just sitting in one room. So when I go to these kids' rooms, I'm like, I'm like Disneyland mixed with a Broadway show. So I'm going to Disney. So, and I'm just like really livening them up, because it's all you see, people just come in and check their vitals, give them the medications, and go out. And then I come in and do something a little bit different, and it's, it touches me, and then the parents love it, and I hate to see a lot of them. I know they're not going to last, and I have a few of them that did not last because their cancer was just so aggressive, and that's really hard. But just making those memories with my kids is like priceless. It helps me, because I see so many bad things. So being able to connect with my kids and the families really keeps me going.
So you kind of alluded to this, but I remember when I used to go visit the doctor as a kid, the thing they would do to cheer us up, you're going to get a shot, they give you like a lollipop or a sticker. At what point did you decide, I'm gonna break out this music and I'm gonna start dancing.
All right, cool. Yeah. Right. So when I was a little kid, you know, I was the same way. You know, the lollipop, and I was like, man, lollipops suck. Oh no, man, sugar-free lollipop. Take this. So when I was a little kid, I always wanted somebody to kind of connect with me, you know, in a different way. And so I saw Patch Adams, and I was like, man, he looks awesome. But then when one day when I was taking care of one of my kids, he had childhood leukemia, so he beat that, but then he started having a lot of different neurological issues that caused him to have surgery with us. So I decided, you know, next time I go in to see him, you know, music kind of helped me. When I was a little kid, I'm just going to turn on some music, start acting a fool like I normally do, and see what happens. So I, you know, went in there, turned on some music, and I started dancing, and he said, I'm like, come on, get up, get up, get up. And then he got up, and it was Can't Touch This, and we was dancing, Can't Touch This. I was like, all right. And then his mom filmed it, and then it went on social media, and then it just went from there, and just blew up.
So what has the feedback been? Like, we know, you know, parents and kids love it, but what about your peers? Like, did they think you had lost it? Like, what?
Well, we have a lot of old school folks down social media. So Facebook is for the older generation, because it was I'm part of it, because at first it was MySpace, and then it was Facebook, and now it was Snapchat, and then it's Instagram, and now TikTok. And on Facebook, you have a lot of older generation of physicians and practitioners that, you know, like, what are you doing to yourself? You're like a clown, you know, stop doing this stuff. And I just replied and said, thank you for stopping by. And I block them. I got a list of blocks. So. But then you have a lot of nurses in different countries, different states saying, you know, I've been in medicine for 30 years and I never seen anybody like you. And this would have made my patient's day if you were here. And then you have people that are in a corporate office somewhere far away. I used to do it, so I first started at Chalk, and then across the street at St. Joseph Hospital was adult hospital, and it's part of Providence Health, and Providence Health main office is in Sacramento. So I did a video it wasn't with patients, it was just the staff. And we had nobody in the fast track at the ER, so it was the ER docs and nurses. So we're just like just hanging out, you know, doing kung fu fighting. Everybody was kung fu fighting. And that was nice. And they caught wind of it, and then they sent the message to the ER, because the ER is a separate corporation within the hospital. So they sent the message to the ER folks and saying that he needs to cease and desist, or we're gonna have to let him go. And I was like, what? So I had to delete all these videos that I did there. And this is before it really went viral. And so once I deleted everything, but all the docs in the ER was for me. It was like, you know, he's doing such good things, you know, uplifting us, giving us, boosting our morale here at our place, because we come here and we do the same things over and over again. It's like we're like waiting tables when we're in the ER, and RN stands for refreshments and narcotics. I had to delete everything, and then just last September, ironically, the hospital wanted me to do 8 sessions of culture of caring with my music at their hospital. I was like, you guys told me stop doing it here. Now you want me to come here and talk to everybody saying this is the way that I connect with my patients? And it's like, come on now. So they missed the bus, and I think they are regretting it, because from there it just went from ABC World News Tonight, Good Morning America, Dr. Oz, all the local newspapers, and in Australia, 2 different TVs in Australia, then in Denmark, and now I'm going to Italy soon, and then I'll be going to Ukraine soon. So it's going all over the world, literally all over the world.
So how important has this become to your practice? Do patients come in and they're ready to dance, or, you know, how important does this become?
So it allows me, when I'm doing this, it allows me to assess the patient too, because in neurosurgery, you know, you want to make sure if they have any function, they have a foot drop. Are they able to move around with coordination? So it allows me to do a lot of things with my patients. And then my boss, is like, hey, you should dance with Tony. He's real famous. He's real famous. So he pushes me out.
Oh, man. Throw him under the bus.
But I'm able to use a lot of things with this as a tool to kind of connect with patients and make sure, as well as boost their mental state and the parents. You know, some of these parents haven't seen their kids laugh and play in a long time. And then when I come in, we're just having a good time, because we have one kid that complains about everything, and the mom looks like she has Munchausen's disease. But so it's like, I start having an interaction with them, and then he leaves out of the room. It's like, oh my goodness, I had the best time ever at this doctor's office. So then they don't want to see the attendings anymore. They only want to see me. You got people from other states try to send me information about their kids, saying that they want to see me because they see how I interact with kids. So the outcomes within the hospital is amazing. I can only imagine how many people have chosen Chalk Hospital because of the things that I posted online.
Okay, so it's no secret you've developed a knack for generating attention on social media and otherwise. But you know, when you think about the profession, so it's an interesting conundrum that we deal with here, because we know that, you know, the PA profession has been around for over 50 years, and that, you know, we know all the wonderful things that they do. And you can go in and you can introduce yourself as Tony, you know, the PA, and they're still going to call you Dr. Tony. How do we use what you've done? How can we, you know, generate awareness? Because, you know, for all of our, you know, efforts, you know, there's never enough information out there about PAs. You know, patients still sometimes don't understand, you know, what a PA is or what a PA does, and, you know, if they're going to get the same level of care. So part of, you know, our goals here has become to increase awareness and to make sure that people understand who they are. So what I want to ask you is, how can all of us here, you know, the staff and the ambassadors, how can we use our own platforms or develop our own platforms to increase awareness of the profession?
Yeah, so social media is a good tool to increase the awareness, because everybody comes to social media. You know, in my office, I can control my office, but outside of that, it gets kind of tough. So in my office, you know, people will say, oh, you're Dr. Atkins? I'm like, no, I'm Tony, the PA, and the PA is this. And then on social media, you know, I put physician assistant on there till I'm blue in the face, but then I get literally millions of comments throughout the whole week saying Dr. this. Because in different countries, because a lot of social media folks are from different countries too. So in different countries, they only have a doctor or a nurse. So they don't know what physician assistant is, because I'm going to go speak in Ukraine and they're calling me Dr. Atkins, and I have to tell them before, you know, I'm not doctor, I'm a PA, and a PA is this, and here is a website where you can read up what we are. So it's all about trying to bring across what a physician assistant is, and we do it all the time in our offices. But we still get called doctor by the same person that we just said, I'm not a doctor. It was like, oh, forget it. And so that is a real challenge that, you know, I don't know how we're going to address that, because it's tough. You know, we've always been called doctor, and it's a doc or anything, and but we try to tell them, you know, a physician assistant is this, but we don't want to be, you know, whip out the switchblade and say, I'm not a doctor. So that one is going to be very challenging forever until we get somebody up top that are making big decisions in the White House or somewhere in Washington, because it's always been for years a doctor nurse. And now they have nurse practitioner, but then we need to be separated from the nurse practitioner, and now we have PA. So it's something that's always been around since we started. I don't think that changing our names is going to help. All this is going to confuse some more. So we just got to work with what we got, you know. And I always tell people, I'm Tony, I'm the PA, I'll be helping you out. And then my doctor's gonna come in afterwards. And then they still call me Dr. Tony. I was like, but I address it like, I'm Tony, you just call me Mr. Atkins or Tony. I work for a living, so you don't have to call me Mr. Atkins, just call me Tony. And then when I'm doing it with my kids, I say, Tony, I'm Tony Atkins, I'm the PA, and PA stands for party animal. So those are things that kind of instilled in a lot of people, but it's a tough thing that I deal with every day. And then I get some people that are pretty adamant on social media when people call me, oh, Dr. Atkins, I wish you were with my doctor, and I get somebody on the back, he's not a doctor, he's a PA. And I'm like, oh my God, I'll put you on a payroll, correct all other
So, my last question for you, and then we'll open it up to everyone. In planning this visit, you and I traded some emails, and I noted a quote in your email signature, and if you cry on this, it'll be okay, because I like to fancy myself like a little, fake Barbara Walters, and Barbara makes people cry.
Yeah.
Just call me like E. Walters.
Right.
Anyway, you got a quote in there, and it says, at the end of my life, I would hope that I would not have a single bit of talent left, and I could say I used everything that you gave me. Talk to me about that. Like, why did that resonate with you? Why do you share that?
Because it's the way that I view every day. We wake up with how much do we get? We get 86,400 seconds in a day, and every day we get that. We don't get no more. The next day, we don't.
All right, so I am back in the hotel from a full day with NCCPA, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I'm so excited for dinner tonight because we're going to a steakhouse, so I probably won't record that. I just want to live in the moment and enjoy my trip. I tried to blog as much as I could today, and to my surprise, so many other people had cameras, so it wasn't against the rules for me to blog and take pictures. And if you follow me on social media, you've probably seen a whole bunch of memories and things that were created today. And if you missed it, you just check out my highlights on my page. But I have made so many connections. I'm leaving here with a whole new perspective, motivated and excited to make a change and everything else. So, I mean, this opportunity is wonderful for the profession, but just for me and where I was before I left to come here, and the headspace I was in versus the headspace I'm gonna have now that I'm leaving. So this little trip for these couple of 2-3 days has really benefited me in a great way. And I'm so happy that I know that God is in the mix with all this going on. But for the time being, I'm about to relax a little bit before we go to dinner, and I will see you guys later. Morning, guys. This is day 2. This is actually the last day. I'm so sad. I do not want to leave Atlanta. I don't want to leave Atlanta, but we are about to go down, get breakfast just like we did yesterday, and then we'll be transported to NCCPA to wrap up the day. So again, I will probably try my best to record as much as possible, even though today we will be discussing our role in advocating and making the change for the profession. And I don't know if NCCPA wants all that to be out there yet, so probably not. Yesterday was like the exciting day. We had Tony the dancing PA, we had a lot of introductions and a lot of, hey, how you doing, happy to have you here, and a lot of information. I think today we're going to get down to business. So if I don't record and y'all don't see nothing after this, that means I was unable to capture the moments, and at the correct time or at the appropriate time, when everything is said and done, I'll be able to share more information with you guys. But day 2 in full effect.